on, y'all? Welcome back to Talks with Ty. First, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and most of all, my guest, the one and only Mr. Somebody Gotta Do It. Youssouph is in the building.
Yes, sir.
And I have Shazam, his brand manager, is in the building as well.
What's going on?
How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling today, y'all?
Feeling good, man.
We happy to be here, bro.
Yeah, I'm happy to
have coming, but
Y'all, it has been such a long time coming. When I tell y'all this man right here is probably one of the hardest people to get in touch with.
I just triggered him.
No lie. Don't never answer the phone, but you get the voicemail.
Yeah, the infamous voicemail.
So next time
hit you up. I got you. Yeah, I got the tip, y'all. Now I'm gonna just call Shazam if I need to get in touch, man. But no, I want to thank y'all so much for coming here today, taking time out y'all schedules and stuff like that. I know y'all, busy taking care of things, doing what y'all need to do. So I just want to show my gratitude for that.
We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So y'all, before I even seen, Youssouph and the team doing their thing, I saw the brand, and that's what it was for me, and that's why I was like, people ask me why I do this show. Literally, he's a prime example of why I do this, because his people do brands and apparel lines all the time, and it's great. You know what I mean? But I love seeing something with so much purpose, so much meaning, so much action, just so much behind this man and his brand. So I just want to just give him his flowers just for that alone. But before we even get into all of that, I want to give like a short story behind like the man behind the brand. You know what I mean? Like, who is Youssouph? Who is the team? Like, who are you all before y'all came in together and built this brand into what it is today? So that's kind of my first question is, how did you even get into this whole lane a little bit of like just the fashion industry, building with a team itself? Like, did it start with y'all, just meeting each other? Y'all was already friends, acquainted, or how did that begin?
We was about to take a stroll down.
Right, yeah.
Start, and then
you figure that, yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you even for that intro, man. That actually means a lot coming from you.
Yeah.
We try our best to just play our part in our community. But first and foremost, somebody got to do it. I told this story like a million times. It actually started off as a hashtag. We literally was just using it as a way to just inspire people on social media. So in case you wanted to go to school or go to college, work out, we just was just hashtagging somebody got to do it. But it started to get to the point where the hashtag started to become bigger than just a hashtag. So everybody started to use it and just always tag us like, you know what? I don't want to work this double shift today, but like Youssouph always say, somebody got to do it. Or somebody who's like literally old and like 40-something, like, I have to go back to school after all these years, but like Youssouph always say, somebody got to do it. So it became a thing where it got so overwhelming in the moment, and people like us, when you got that entrepreneur spirit, we just had to capitalize with the momentum we had at the time. So we just like, you know what? Let's just put it on a shirt. And then from there, because of the way we move and we know it's bigger than self, we understood like somebody got to do it. It's not like my name. This is something that applies to everybody.
That's
everybody with a purpose, with a dream, with a goal. So it just took on to a life with itself. But the way I look at it, I don't think it was by accident. I just think it's like sometimes when opportunity meets preparation, great things happen.
I love that.
We was people that always stayed the course, worked hard. So when the opportunity presented itself, it just took us to heights we never could imagine. But we just glad that, we just was able to still be ready for that blessings too, because it's one thing for a blessing to come and you receive it, but you don't want it to come and you're not ready to receive it too.
I love that.
Stay ready so you're not get ready.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick spill, and Sha, you could
no, I love that.
How we know each other.
So and the funny thing is, like, me and Youssouph actually known each other for a while. We actually grew up together. So since like middle school, elementary school days, like we literally used to be on the block playing basketball. Funny thing also is, Youssouph used to be shorter than me. So I don't know where this growth spurt came. I'm still trying to figure out what his diet was.
I'm 6'1" now. Just put it out there. 6'1".
Like it's funny. It's like we really was brothers back then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Running, freeze tag, basketball, all of that. So I myself am an entrepreneur in my own, and I have my own brands as well. So as I've been rocking, I look over and I just saw a post one day on IG, seeing my bro, and I'm like, yo, I read it. I was just like, yeah. Like, it's just when it clicks for the entrepreneurs that get up and get it. You get up and you do your own thing, and you grinding, and like the odds are against you,
Right.
but you still got to make it work.
Right.
So when you see something like somebody got to do it, it's like, you're damn right.
Right.
Yeah, I got to do it.
Right.
So I like DM'd him and was just like, yo, I love it. I love it. Everything about it, I love. And it wasn't until like this first fashion show, actually, that I was on vacation for my birthday. I was in Cali. And he hit me up like, bro, I'm gonna have to have my first fashion show. I want you to come through. I'm like, yeah, anything you need, I'm here.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, I need models. I was like, I don't model, but hey, if you need it, I'm here.
Right.
So I came back from vacation, went straight to the modeling practice. Was actually in the first fashion show, and then of course, like, because I do events, I do a lot of event production. Certain things behind the scenes, I was like, bro, whenever you need, I'm here to help you for the
I love that.
next.
He told me that after every practice, he kept telling me.
Yeah. And then since then, like, he actually hit me up and was like, yo, I was actually talking to some of the people. I want you to be a part of the team. I was like, all right, let's get it.
Yeah.
I've been a part of the team since.
No. When I tell y'all, I love just seeing just people out doing, let alone just black people, young people, black, influential people just doing it. And I've been seeing y'all doing it, and I definitely got to just give y'all so much love for that. And y'all, before Youssouph even came in, he said, listen, I want to do this with my team. You know what I mean? The team is definitely bigger, but he made sure and showed somebody, and I definitely got to show you love for that, because, it's definitely nothing big isn't done without a team. And I love that you show that representation. And what I want to talk about is just like, what made you believe that investing in Youssouph and his brand, that you knew it was something that was worth your time? You knew it was something that it was going to be bigger. Like what did you see in him that made you believe that?
Aside from me knowing him from before, I saw the growth and also the aspiration. You know, like, Youssouph, when he was young, bro, he was annoying, dog. He was annoying.
I was a different guy.
So like, seeing him in that light, I was like, yo, something clicked for you at some point, and you're in a different zone now,
right? And
I want to help you get to higher realms of that zone that you're in. Outside of that, like, the mission speaks for itself. They say that the brands that become the most lucrative, the most influential, the most impactful are the ones that you don't really got to market too much.
Wow.
It speaks for itself. Somebody got to do it. It's a motivational brand, and it inspires people. It motivates people to be your very best self.
Yes.
And so as somebody that's already been doing it for myself, getting up and day after day, week after week, year after year, saying, how can I get better? I gotta wear this.
Yes.
It embodies who I am and what I do. So when I see certain things that can be improved within the organization, as his brother, as his friend, I gotta speak up. And so now being on the team, I don't just speak up. I do it.
That's right. That's right.
It's better
Yes,
because where it's not just about us. We serve in a community of people.
That's right.
That look up to us. That also and they see us and they try to and be like us in certain ways. And because that is so prevalent, we gotta make sure we get a great example.
Absolutely.
You know?
I love that. I couldn't agree more. I feel like just adding that value to a brand. Yeah, that was really well said. And just adding, I feel like when it comes to building a foundation in a team, and it can be so powerful when you got the right people, and that's keyword, the right people, because there can be someone with the vision, you know what I mean, someone who gonna hold that just that, what is it, that torch in their hand, they're gonna lead it, but it's going to be so, you're going to have those difficult moments if you don't have the right people following you behind you, or just holding you up, making sure they are, clarifying that vision, backing up the moves. And I feel like seeing y'all have been so just like influential and so consistent, keyword consistent, and y'all have been, I would say, a pivotal just like moment for people to connect to and be inspired to, you know what I mean? And being as though that y'all young, y'all doing it, I love seeing that. So I definitely got to give y'all that. Youssouph, in starting out your career,
Right.
there could be different avenues that you could take. You know what I mean? Because I remember seeing you was an athlete as well at one point. You know what I mean? You was doing different things before you got into this avenue. So
a few different drones I was doing.
so how did you know like this was the route that you wanted to take before you became this influential, figure that you are?
I think there's a few things compiled. Like one, my heart was always with people. I always wanted to serve my people in some fashion, some way, but I saw a glimpse of it growing up in certain things I do where I'm like, I know how I felt right now that I made somebody's life better. Even if it's just my presence, even if it's high school or college where I can go to a space and I'm like, whatever I do, it impacts or influences people. But when this came about, this was the first thing that I recall doing with the least amount of effort. And that's how I knew it's meant for me. This is just destined because this was not a call. Like I said, it fell in my lap. I didn't choose this. It kind of chose me. So things like that, I feel like when, I'm Muslim, so I say Allah, but God, when he places certain things from you sometimes, you can't run away from it.
That's right.
Because not everybody is a leader. Not everybody has certain capabilities. So when you see yourself with certain things to your disposal, you just got to hone those skills and try to perfect it.
That's right.
And just do your part while you're here. So that's how I knew, like, this is it for me. Because one, like I said, it don't feel like work. It don't take me an abundance amount of effort to do what I'm doing. And also, not only am I living my dream, that's the biggest thing. I'm helping people throughout the process. And I think that's the biggest and most fulfilling thing with what we do is like, it's not about the money and all that. It's just about the amount of people, lives you can impact.
That's right.
And I just always think about it one day, like, you know what? Since I'm already in this, we're like, almost 7 years in. I just want this to be a thing where they can outlive us. Like, I want it to get to a point where we're not going to be able to meet some people that's looking up to us. Like, it's going to be like transcends from generations and generations to come. So it's like, that's the bigger goal right now. It's just like, all right, let's continue doing what we do. But at the same time, let's impact people's lives because we know we didn't have some of these things growing up. I didn't see a me or a Shama or you growing up. Nobody came to my high schools to talk to me or to, hey, keep doing your thing. This is like what you're saying, giving you your flowers. So that's what right now I'm big on pouring into the next generation, pouring into the youth and letting them know they can be somebody. And that's why I always say, if we can't build a future for our kids, let's build our kids for the future. It's just that simple.
Lord have mercy. You better speak. You better speak, brother. No, I love that you said that. It's so many key words that you said that just got my mind jumping because
I got going just now.
Yeah, no, like, and everything you said is right on point because I was getting ready to ask you, like, growing up, there wasn't really a lot of, mentors or just a lot of influence. And it's not to take away from nobody,
right.
who had guidance or whatever, but we would be lying if we said we had it. A lot of, us just young people growing up didn't really have a lot of guidance, people that they can talk to about just important things out of life.
Yeah.
So, I was going to ask you, like, what makes, you want to be that influential, mentor, that influential just leader for people, like, because like you just said, we didn't have a lot of that growing up, but like, why is that important for you to be that for people?
Because I come from a family in a history of just cycles, and that got to stop here. That's how I looked at it, because we keep blaming what we didn't have, blaming our parents, blaming our society, blaming our environment. So I looked at it like, okay, I didn't grow up with a father. I made some blunders growing up. I don't come from privilege, but what am I going to do about it? I'm not going to just sit here and keep complaining about what hasn't been done. And we got to be the first generation business owners in my family, first generation college students, whatever. I'm ready to just lace my boots and just go for it. I had to get to that point because you got to get to a point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So it's like, this is the cards we're dealt with. I can't imagine a life if I didn't have, like, let's just say I grew up with rich parents or my environment was more safe. It's just not the reality. So the way I look at it is that's what drives me every day is to know, like, you know what? We have an opportunity here to build something that we never had before. I can create a legacy that starts right now that can transcend, like, just beyond just right now and the things that's happening. So that's enough motivation for me. I watch my mom struggle, bro. Like, I watch my mom struggle, working 2-3 jobs. Like, I don't know how some people look at some of these things, but if you're not moved by your struggle and the reality of what's happening for you, my whole family is broke. So, and I know, like, poor is a mindset.
That's right.
I don't care. The money not with me. It just didn't come yet. It's on its way. So I just can't live and accept things the way it are. It just can't be like this. I can't just think like life is just supposed to be a way where we just live and then we just die. We don't just amount to nothing. We don't go after the things because we don't have a head start. No. If that's the case, let's just create that space for us now. Let's create this. Let's bring resources here. Let's start the movements. Let's build the businesses. Let's put our kids in better position. So therefore, when it's their time, they already got a easier transition to start. And now they can just take that to probably heights that we couldn't take it to. But it starts with us. So that's how I look at it. It's a responsibility that I take pride on doing. And the same thing he could say. So
somebody got to do it.
Oh, somebody got to do it.
That's the best way to end it, man.
Hear it.
Somebody got to do it.
No, I love that.
Man.
What's going on, guys? If you did not want to be a sponsor for this show, you simply can just pay a flat rate of $100 for a promotional shout out on our YouTube page. Just head to the link in the bio and send us an email, and you already know we got you. We'll do the rest. That's right. You don't got to be on the show. We'll highlight you right where you are. You already know. See you later. I love that everything that y'all stand behind, everything that y'all even saying today is always just always good and powerful, like nurturing. You know what I mean? It's always, you know, something that y'all would just want to do something good, and I think that's what the main thing is this, like, regardless of people what they see or what they feel, just know it's good and it's coming from a good place. You know what I mean? And I love seeing that with y'all. I was going to ask if it's I see y'all going throughout the community doing so many, you know, community things, you know, events that y'all do and stuff like that, reaching out to the community. Like, what is something that y'all would want to give to y'all community in order to see like a difference in it? Like, what's something that y'all would actually, if y'all had power to give something to y'all community, what would it be?
I feel like resources. And not like, and it's not like saying, oh, just a park or a pool. Like, I feel like a lot of times the cities and the government per se, they give us throwaways. Like, what is a pool gonna do for a kid that like goes home hungry or doesn't have a mentor or doesn't know what to do with their life? When I say resources, I mean like there's actual people who would be willing to teach the next. But they're not put in a position to do so. Sometimes they got to worry about themselves.
That's right.
And you can't be mad at them. You know, they got to put food on the table for either themselves or their kids. So instead of opening up a pool or another park, why don't you take those resources and actually like put a little extra into somebody that has expertise in certain lanes that these kids are growing up and they're learning quicker. You know, technology is helping out a lot, but they need direction, right? They have all this access with no direction. And so if you can give them more direction and experience on top of the creativity and drive that they have, yo, they can create amazing things.
You better speak.
So I really would, if we could, like, when I say resource, I'm talking about community centers that are for the community.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, how many community centers, when you go there, you try to do something, our hands are tied. We can't really help you out here. No, that doesn't bode well for us. So I really would like us to be able to put resources in the hands of the people that need it, not the ones that are just recycling the same things over and over again. In this day and age where we are, where we have so much creativity and so much avenues that are opening up, and so much lanes that we could never fathom when we were in high school.
That's right.
What was a content creator when we were in high school? What
seriously,
is that?
seriously.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's so many new ways to either build a living and live your life and do the things that you love and still get compensated for it. So why don't we kind of cultivate the people who are going to be the next? There are still lawyers and doctors out there, but then there are also other people that can do things that can inspire change or enrich other people's lives as well. And so that's what we would very much like to do. And when I say like to do, I say that to say that we will be doing it.
Absolutely.
It's just coming. It's coming when it needs to come. You know what I'm saying? We're really big on.
You better speak. You better speak.
It's really big on. It's a marathon. We understand where we want to go, and we understand where we are right now. And we're just gonna keep grinding out until we get there.
Much respect, much love to y'all for real. Like, much love to y'all. Youssouph, I want to talk about a little bit of your process of stepping into that role, because I know, in the beginning,
Yes, sir.
I'm sure it wasn't like easy, you know what I mean?
Right.
Of just even putting on to a show, building a team, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Trying to get your mind, ready, preparing yourself,
Right.
like going, conditioning yourself of, forming, the
Yeah.
individual you are today. So how is that process of walking into the man that you saw yourself to be? Like, what difficult moments were you brought against? Was it, creating a show and, having some technical difficulties, or, creating budgets and stuff like that, responding with people's, like, where in that process it became a little difficult for you, but you found a way through that?
Man.
I'm just hitting it with y'all, hitting it with
you
y'all.
hit it, man. I ain't gonna lie, you asking some questions and I like it because it's digging deep. Like,
Yeah.
it's
We
making me
definitely
really,
told ourselves we was gonna be real.
Yeah.
We was gonna be hella real on
yeah,
this
it's
one,
making
too.
me really think to the journey. It's still a journey. And I'm 27 right now, and I started this when I was 20. So even thinking back, I'm just thinking about the roller coaster in the beginning. It was more so. I think the hardest part for me was like being in a transition from my old life and then the new life that was presented to me.
That's right.
And me trying to be this person I know I could be.
That's right.
And actually putting my best foot forward. But at the same time, I wish, if I could go back, I would have allowed myself to know it's okay to make mistakes. Because I grew up in my 20s with this. That's all I know. My entire 20s has not been anything outside of somebody got to do it. But I had to go through the motions of, like, finding teams, getting into it, having the wrong people. Some people probably betrayed you.
Wow.
Like, just things that people say, oh, when the money come, or when the success come, or
Right.
when the following come, like, just things that always to me deemed to be cliche. But because I was a little more younger, and like I said, it was kind of happening so fast, I was just going through everything and not knowing how to respond the way I do now. Because now I kind of have a sense of maturity and a deeper level of understanding with business and people too. I've grown to understand people way better, and I think that's the part that I love about this too. Is like it made me a better people person.
That's right.
And it also exposed myself as well, because a lot of times when you go through things with people, it's not just about them. It's about, why do you keep finding yourself in this? So I had to take a seat back. Okay, why do I keep having to have a new team?
Right.
It can't. Something is not adding up here. Regardless of how I feel, what do I need to do better now as a leader? And that's why I started to learn. Like, you know what? Let me find people that I know can do things that I probably lack.
Right.
And also let me allow them to be their true self and allow them to lead. Like you see the dynamic with me and him.
Yeah.
I know it's some things he can do. And I don't try to compete with that. I let him flourish in that area. And then vice versa, he knows what I can do. So, and E, shout out to E, that's our creative
sir.
director.
That's right.
Sir.
She's not here, so even
Yes,
bringing
sir.
her
E-money.
on board too. I'm starting to understand that being a leader is also not only knowing how to lead, but knowing when to take a step back as well and allow other people to lead.
Wow.
Because as a leader, you want to also produce more leaders as well.
That's right.
You don't want to have feel like you just having people like your leash or something. So whether I understood it or not, when I was younger, as I got older, that was some of the biggest things that I had to take a back seat about and start to understand better. Is like, okay, how do I deal with people and deal with each personnel accordingly too? Because it's not a one size shoe fit all. I can't just talk to Shama the same way I would talk to E or somebody else and vice versa. So it just was basically learning people, learning business too, because as I said, this happened fast. So the more I learned, the more I know what I needed too. Because you can't just bring people on. You don't know what you bring them on for.
That's right.
So it was all those things compiled. And I say that to say this, just to leave it on that, is I'm okay with the mistakes I made because I was still young. I was like an old 20. So
Right.
just growing up, because I was maybe older or one of the first to do it among a lot of people, they made me feel much older than I was. But now we got all these 20-year-olds coming on. It's like, oh, look at these nice kids. We treat them as such.
Right.
But when you're one of the first to do this, it's kind of like, it's more
a lot.
amplified. It's in
Yeah.
the eye of other people is like, all eyes is on you, your whole family, your whole community. So I ain't look at myself as a 20, 21-year-old. It just was a lot on my shoulders. But now that was some of the things I'm like, all right, I made a lot of mistakes with people and in business, but I'm glad it all happened because it was a teaching moment for
Yeah,
me.
it molds you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
I say the same thing. Like a lot of the times we don't realize it because Lord knows. I feel like he
Yeah.
just be like, you know what, Tyrone? I feel like he keeps me in prayer. You know how you just mess up so much. He be like, you know, I
I'm
just.
telling you,
I feel
feel
like
that.
I mess up so much, but I feel like when you just have a determined heart, you know what I mean? It outweighs everything because like that's so real. Like God truly knows our heart, regardless
Absolutely. He knows our
of how
intention.
many mistakes or how many times we mess up.
And you start to realize that.
You know what I
start to
mean?
Realize, hey, it's okay. I'm figuring it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, you figured it out. And we still are.
And that's probably one of the hardest things is when you figuring out the same time that you doing it.
Yeah.
But you got to remember you making it happen.
Yeah,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like keyword. That's why I love y'all brand because it is literally the perfect finisher. Somebody got to do it.
Somebody gotta do
You
it.
know what I mean? So I love that. What from your experiences, what can you tell someone wanting to start their brand or taking that leap of faith? Because in the beginning, you know how much it was difficult for you. But what could you tell somebody from your experience? And y'all both can add on that from too. Yeah, if y'all.
From this experience, I can honestly, especially now, I think it is very, very important that we say it over and over again. But the most important thing right now is that you're starting this new business. You have to work it. It's not post and become famous and rich.
That's right.
You have to work it every day. You have to keep your consistency. There's days where you're not going to feel like it.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't owe you anything because you don't feel like it. You have to work this. And until you get into the mind frame of being very vigilant on working it is where you'll be able to see your results. They say that you got to build your well before you're thirsty. Yeah, that's what you got to do. That means sometimes you might be thirsty, but it's not time yet. You got to keep building, and then you're going to start to see more and more of your harvest. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a farmer. A farmer is working that soil, and you don't even see the seed. You have no idea what the seed is doing. You know what I'm saying? But then when you keep working it, then you start to see the progress.
That's right.
Right? The seed has to take root first.
You better.
And a lot of times, these people nowadays, y'all planting the seed, and y'all think that it's just supposed to give you apples, oranges, and corn.
Okay.
And it's like, yo, it took no root.
That's right.
And sometimes it's all right. Sometimes you might get a quick, what do they say, quick lick.
Okay.
Right? But the quick lick is not going to keep you sustainable for however long you want this business to last.
That's right.
So don't get satisfied. Get hungry. And when you get hungry, you stay hungry.
You better speak.
You're going to keep going and going and going. And it's something that we honestly embody within our team. Yeah, there's a lot of success for somebody got to do it.
That's right.
We never stop being hungry.
You better.
That's it. And that's all.
Never.
We do the one thing, we accomplish it, and we on to the next.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it. Because somebody got to do it.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
If the microphone could drop, if the microphone could drop, it would be dropped right now. Okay.
Right.
Listen.
Come on, Sean.
Okay. This man better speak.
Come on, Sean.
It's a team full of motivational speakers on here, preachers. What else y'all got going on? Like, seriously.
Sean.
Like, I love that. Like, y'all better speak. I mean, y'all speaking to me at this, to my soul. Like, I literally agree with everything you saying. That process, formulating that. It's
Marathon.
people. I think people get so mesmerized by just seeing, a post, a like, or coming to a show and thinking, oh, it's so much that goes in when you doing in production alone. You know what I mean? Production alone, but building a brand, building a team, building a business, a organization, a foundation. You know what I mean? All of those things is so key, and I could not agree with you
That
more.
word you just used, Tyrone. You said mesmerized, and I just want to say a quick little story. Like just recently, like when we did our 4th annual fashion show, I went somewhere and I saw one of my friends. Like she's in Upper Darby, good friend of mine. So I don't want her to watch this and get mad at me. But the whole point I'm trying to make is when she saw me, she just was like, "Oh, I came to your fashion show, and it's crazy. I had all these people come to your show. You must be happy because I do the same thing and nobody come to my events." And it was that moment I'm like, I don't know if I might have failed some people in my community because if you think we just had a show and people showed up, you're missing the bigger picture. Because only if you know what we put ourselves through behind the scenes, like the sleepless nights, the times we probably was in the hospital, the times where we didn't want to go, like negative bank
bank
so
accounts.
I'm like, just for people to say that, that's when you use that word mesmerize. I'm like, I don't like when people just look at the finished product and glorify that.
That's right.
But they just skip through the whole work ethic, the whole process, like the actual journey to get to where you're going to. We playing this for 7-8 months. What you think was happening for 7-8 months? Like that's more than half a year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Day after day.
Wow.
Just like you said, like we actually told ourselves, like this year, I mean, starting with this radio interview, we're gonna start being real honest.
As y'all should.
About all the behind the scene things, and it takes a level of vulnerability on our end.
Right.
You know, like sometimes, you know, they say like the perception kind of helps you a little bit, but the perception is not gonna help the people that we're trying to build.
Exactly.
You know, like the perception is not. I'm not here to be famous.
Right.
I'm here to be impactful. And to be impactful, I gotta tell you, like, hey, I made it on time to this thing, but my car got towed.
Yeah.
Like I still made it to where I need to go, but now I gotta go figure out my life after.
Yeah.
Like people gotta understand that. Like, yo, it's work. It's so much work.
So much work.
I love that.
It
So
don't
much.
happen overnight. There's the Big Sean lyric. He was like, it took 5 years for me to be an overnight success.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you gotta be grinding for 5 years, and when that moment happens, just like he said, stay ready so you don't gotta get ready.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love everything that y'all saying. And what I want to ask is, in those hard days where, although y'all got this momentum and this drive, like some days is not as up as y'all want it to be. What is it that keeps y'all getting to that next day? Or do y'all pray? Do y'all get together in team? Do y'all, you know, like what?
You can start.
I would honestly say us. Something about our team is that, and especially like for me and Youss, what we really built here, and it's like we really want to build for. I want everyone to get into that mindset. It's something that like we put together a while ago. That one team, one dream mentality.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what that means is one team, one dream is we're all entrepreneurs going at our dreams. And so because we're going at our dreams, we have to lean on each other sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes my sales is not going to be going and I'm not going to feel like it. But talking to another person that is doing the same thing I'm doing, it helps me realize, yo, it's not the end.
Yes.
You can continue. Pick yourself up.
Wow.
Keep going.
Wow.
So in those instances that you talked about, yo, we be on the phone, bro. We be on the phone. We talk about everything.
Yeah.
Every little thing. Like any minuscule part of our lives or any grand part of our lives, we talk about it, and we put business aside and we just talk as brothers. And I think that part is what helps us motivate. There was a time, like I said, we're going to start being really real with y'all throughout this year. There was a time, I think it was third year fashion show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And me and Youssouph was talking. It was like, bro, like this is stressful. We getting it, but it's like things got to go. And it's like, bro, I'm at negative 2 something right now. And he was like, bro, me too. And we over here looking at our bank accounts. It's like,
and
we in the negative.
Imagine.
And we coming from a cipher practice. I mean, we just did a model practice the day after. We driving cars that need insurance. And
Wow.
gas.
We moving.
When we
know what I'm
moving
saying?
with negative bank accounts.
Wow.
And when I tell you that show was amazing, it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so in these moments, we gotta talk to each other because, like, it uplifts you to know that you got somebody going through it with you. We in the trenches together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like bullets is flying, but we in here. We in here. We're motivating each other and we pushing each other to be the greatest selves that we need to. Because
Wow.
if we can't do it for ourselves, what is this brand?
Whoa. Whoa. It's my. Whoa, I see he brought the right one today. I ain't need the team. All I needed was your damn. Wow. Wow. This man is speaking today. Wow. Sid, you speaking the truth, though. You speaking what you saying what need to be said. I tell you that. All right, well, listen. I mean, I'm blown away. I don't know what to say.
Good talk, man.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
seriously. You got any last words you want to? Oh yeah, definitely put your socials out there before I close it out. Put your socials out there before I close it out. Any last words y'all want to put? It's your time. Take your shot. Take your opportunity.
You know, like I'm glad he just brought up the whole his mental health event that's coming up.
Yeah.
I hope to see our Black Kings, man. And I'm definitely gonna be there in the building.
Yes.
But just for anybody that's in business right now, not even just startups, just business in general. Because sometimes we talk to the people that started up and we forget about the people like us. Because we tend to always talk about like the newcomers. But
That's right.
for the people that's been in business and you're in a rut and you feel stuck, just know that it's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. You came too far just to come this far.
Come on, man.
And you have a reason you started in the first place. And I always like to say, man, when life knocks you down, make sure you get on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. Somebody got to do it.
That was spit. When the album coming out?
Okay, at this point, whoa, like, I'm not sure who I'm sitting with.
And the page is underscore somebody gotta do it. That's
Yes.
underscore somebody gotta is a GOTTA do it. So underscore somebody gotta do it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forget about that. I forget about that. Personal page is use.njai. So Njai is N as in Nancy, E as in David, IAYE.
Now that you done got commercial professional,
That's what I say.
professionalism.
That's what I say. Njai. They be like, the way y'all would think to spell it is not how you spell it. So let me just say that. So that's it.
I'm crying.
As far as my personals, Shazam is the name, so SHAAZAAM underscore. Don't forget the underscore. And everything else that I inquire about and I'm a part of is right in my bio. You see people in dance class, you see Shazam Productions, and of course you see somebody gotta do it. So it's easier to get there. Trust me, just click and get to all the pages that you need to get to. Trust me.
Yes.
Tyrone, just to tell you this before we get off, man, you born to do this.
Oh.
Like I've been in a lot of seats of interviews, and this is one of my favorite ones. You have a knack for talking to people, and I can tell.
You loop the question really well.
Your personality and everything, man. Like you were made to do this, and just to give your flowers too, bro. This is what. You ain't start this for no reason. So just keep on going, man.
Right.
Come on.
Make sure y'all keep it locked, and yeah, y'all already know we out.